The root of suffering. Have you ever wondered why we still suffer, even when everything in life seems fine? We have a home, someone we love, a job, friends, and small joys that fill our days. And yet, deep inside, there's still a vague unease, a quiet emptiness we can't name. Sometimes just one careless word can make our heart ache. A single memory from the past can suddenly weigh heavy on the soul. We believe that suffering comes from the outside world, from circumstances, from others, from loss or failure. But if we stop and look deeply, we'll see. The root of all suffering lies within our own mind. The Buddha once said, "Suffering doesn't come from what happens, but from how we respond to what happens." That simple truth holds the entire treasure of wisdom. Human beings suffer because of attachment, because we want to hold on to what cannot be held, to control what cannot be controlled. When things go our way, we're happy. When they don't, we suffer. And so we're pulled endlessly between gain and loss, joy and sorrow, success and failure, love and hate, never finding rest. Our mind is like someone trying to hold water in their hands. The tighter we grip, the faster it slips away. Suffering begins the very moment we believe we can control life. But life is a flowing river. No one can hold on to a single drop that is past. Every change, every shift, is simply the natural rhythm of impermanence. The world has never stood still. Even we ourselves are changing, moment by moment. And yet we fear change. We fear losing what we love. We fear not being who we were. We fear time taking away our youth. We fear the day someone leaves. But when we understand impermanence deeply, we realize impermanence is not a thief of joy, but a reminder to cherish every moment. When we look at impermanence with the eyes of wisdom, we see that every change carries within it the seed of new life. Flowers fade so fruit can grow. Day ends so night may begin. The rain falls so the earth can be renewed. If there were no change, there would be no growth. Impermanence is the heartbeat of the universe, the breath of life itself. To fear impermanence is to fear life itself. Yet humans are caught in the loop of ignorance. Whenever suffering appears, we refuse to face it. We hide from it, suppress it, or try to fill the emptiness with fleeting pleasures. We think that forgetting will end the pain, but in truth, suffering doesn't disappear. It only sinks deeper into the mind, waiting for the day it rises again, stronger, sharper, more silent than before. That is the pain that repeats itself, the one we never understand why it returns. To end such pain, there is no other path but awareness. Awareness is the flame of understanding, the light that shines through the darkness of ignorance. When the mind becomes aware, we begin to see the true roots of our suffering. Whenever anger arises, we recognize it. Ah, this is the mind of anger. Whenever fear or worry arises, we notice, this is the fear within me. Simply seeing it, without judgment, without running away, the pain begins to melt, like mist dissolving under the morning sun. Mindfulness doesn't mean suppressing suffering. It means looking directly at it with clear awareness and compassion. Like fire burning away rotten roots, the flame of mindfulness slowly burns through our ignorance, the habit of reacting instead of observing, of clinging instead of letting go. And the moment we are aware that we are suffering, in that very moment, suffering has already lost half its power. Someone once asked the Buddha, "How can I stop suffering?" The Buddha smiled and said, "Let go." Letting go doesn't mean giving up on life. It means releasing the illusion that we can control it. Letting go means accepting reality as it is, whether beautiful or painful, pleasant or unpleasant. When we let go, we stop struggling against life and begin to flow with it. Then our heart grows lighter, and peace begins to bloom in every breath. Try sitting quietly for a moment, close your eyes, and listen to your heartbeat. You'll realize that even when you do nothing, life still moves beautifully. The heart still beats, the breath still flows, the trees remain green, the wind still blows through your window. Everything unfolds in perfect harmony with the universe. So why do we struggle so hard to control it? It is the I, the ego that wants to control, to possess, to win, to always be right. That is the root of suffering. When we release this I, life becomes vast and open. When we stop seeing everything through the lens of I and mine, we finally see things as they truly are. Then the world becomes gentler, people become easier to love, and our own heart feels lighter. A mind that knows how to let go is a mind that is truly free. Don't fear losing, for nothing ever truly belongs to you. Don't fear change, for it is change that helps you grow. Don't fear suffering, for within suffering lies the seed of peace. Look deeply into your pain. Don't run from it. Don't blame anyone. Just look with understanding and compassion. When the light of awareness shines, darkness cannot remain. Suffering has never been the enemy. It is the most patient teacher, showing us how to let go, how to understand, and how to love. When we understand this, we realize that pain was never meant to punish us. It was meant to awaken us. And when we truly awaken, we see that suffering was never real. Only the clinging mind made it so. When the mind releases, suffering disappears, like clouds drifting across a clear sky. And in that moment, we smile and understand. Peace doesn't come from changing the world, but from understanding ourselves. Healing the heart's wounds. Perhaps each of us carries a wound in the heart, sometimes so deep that even a gentle touch can make it ache. Some are hurt by careless words, some by betrayal, some by a loss that nothing can replace. Time passes, and we think the wound has healed. Yet one memory, one scent, one familiar gaze from the past, and suddenly, it bleeds again. We think we have forgotten, but the truth is, we have never truly healed. Because we are still resisting, still holding on, still have not really let go. But the Buddha taught, it is not the wound that causes pain, it is our attachment to it that keeps us suffering. Every wound has its own voice. If we know how to listen, it can become our greatest teacher. For deep inside every pain lies a hidden lesson of love and understanding. A wound reminds us that once we knew how to love, how to trust, how to give. It tells us that we still have a heart that feels. So instead of rejecting our wounds, we can learn to look at them with gratitude. There are scars on the body that remind us of times we fell, and we smile because we survived. But there are scars within the soul we hide away, afraid for anyone to see. Yet it is only when we dare to face those wounds, instead of running from them, that healing truly begins. When the light of mindfulness shines upon our pain, we see that the wound is no longer frightening. It's simply a part of being human, a place where we learn to fall and rise, to lose and appreciate, to hurt and to love again. In truth, every wound carries its own beauty, the beauty of resilience, compassion, and rebirth. A scar doesn't remind us of pain, it reminds us of healing. Like a lotus rising from the mud, every wound holds the potential to bloom into a flower of wisdom. When we are brave enough to say, yes, I was hurt, but now I am grateful, we have already taken a great step on the path of awakening. There is a saying, if there were no cracks, how could the light ever enter? Indeed, the cracks in our hearts are the openings through which light finds its way in. If life had always been perfect, if we had never fallen or failed, we would never truly understand the hearts of others, nor know how to empathize with their pain. So don't be ashamed of your wounds. Wear them as badges of your growth. But why do so many people keep suffering even when the past is long gone? Because they still carry the weight of yesterday on their shoulders. Some cling to their mistakes, punishing themselves for not being good enough. Some dwell endlessly on things that cannot be changed. Some keep remembering those who left, forgetting that life is still waiting for them to move on. We suffer not because of the past itself, but because we refuse to let it go. The past is like an old movie. The more we replay it, the more we miss the present moment. The Buddha once said, do not chase the past. Do not seek the future. The present moment is where true life exists. When we learn to put the past down, only then can we walk freely again. Putting it down doesn't mean forgetting. It means looking back with understanding, and letting go with compassion. Tell yourself, what has passed, I thank it, for it helped me grow. Sometimes just that simple sentence is enough to begin freeing the heart. We don't need to erase the past, only to stop letting it chain the present. Imagine walking through a forest carrying a heavy backpack full of stones, each stone a memory, a regret, a hurt. You're tired, your steps grow heavy, but you never stop to put it down. Until one day you realize, just by setting it down, you become light again. In the same way, life's weight often doesn't come from the world itself, but from our refusal to let go. Letting go isn't easy, but holding on is harder, because by not letting go, we carry our pain forever. Some spend their whole lives in anger, never realizing they are imprisoning themselves. Some can't sleep at night, still blaming someone long gone, not knowing that the one truly suffering is themselves. Hatred never ends through hatred, only through forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean approving another's wrong. It means freeing yourself from the chain of resentment. Think about it. If the one who hurt you continues to live happily while you suffer every day because of them, who is truly being punished? Forgiveness is not because they deserve peace, but because your heart deserves peace. When we begin to feel grateful for our wounds, when we dare to put down the weight of the past, something miraculous happens. We suddenly feel light. It isn't that life has changed, it's that the way we see life has changed. The old wounds are still there, but they no longer hurt. They've become the marks of a journey survived. One day, when you look back, you'll smile, because you'll understand. Without those moments of collapse, you would never have learned how to stand up with compassion. Without those tears, you would never know how to truly cherish a smile. Every suffering carries within it the seed of understanding and love. When we water those seeds with mindfulness, they bloom into flowers of peace. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means remembering, without pain. It means being able to tell your story with a gentle voice, no longer angry, only grateful. It means looking back and saying, "Thank you, because through pain, I learned what true peace is." And then you'll realize a simple truth. Every wound hides a doorway. If you have the courage to open it, that doorway will lead you to freedom. Be still to see your true self. There are days when our mind feels like a lake full of waves. A single word from someone can stir us deeply. A piece of news, a glance, or a fleeting memory. Each one like a pebble thrown into still water, rippling through the surface of our heart. The more we try to calm it down, the more the waves rise. We call it anxiety, stress, or worry. But in truth, it is simply the mind reflecting a world we've never stopped long enough to truly see. In one sutra, the Buddha compared the mind of a practitioner to a still lake. When the water is clear and calm, the sky appears as it is. When it's muddy and disturbed, everything becomes distorted. So, if we wish to see the true nature of life, we must first learn to make our minds still. But stillness does not mean forcing the mind into silence, nor escaping the noise of the world. True stillness is wisdom in motion, a quiet space within that remains unshaken amidst the movements of life. Imagine standing by a lake at dawn. The surface lies flat as glass, reflecting the blue sky and white clouds. Then a breeze passes. The image ripples. But the wind does not last forever. When it stops, the water clears again. In the same way, when we return to our breath, when we pause and look deeply within, the emotional waves, anger, sadness, fear, resentment, will naturally settle. There is no magic, only mindfulness. Mindfulness is the breath of awareness, the anchor that keeps the boat of our mind steady amid the storms of life. When we truly know we are breathing, when we know we are walking, when we are aware of what we feel, we return to the present moment. And only in the present moment does true peace exist. Many people try to escape suffering by running from it. They travel far, seek new joys, new people, new jobs, believing that when their surroundings change, their hearts will find peace. But suffering doesn't lie in circumstances. It lies in how we see them. No matter where we go, if we never look within, we'll carry the same old wounds in our luggage. There is no way out of pain except through it. The Buddha taught, the path beyond suffering is the path that goes through suffering with mindfulness. When we dare to walk into our pain with a bright and aware heart, we begin to see what lies beneath. Underneath anger is fear. Beneath fear is love. And beneath love is the longing to be seen, to be understood, to be safe. When we look deeply, we realize suffering is not our enemy. It is a part of us that is simply asking to be held. So walk gently through your pain, like someone walking barefoot on morning grass. Each step mindful, each step at ease. Don't try to push your pain away. Invite it to sit beside you, like an old friend returning after many years. When you listen deeply, it will tell you why it's here. And once you understand, it will quietly leave. Pain is like a crying child, not trying to bother you, only wanting to be embraced. The more you scold, the louder it cries. But if you open your arms and hold it close, the crying softens and fades. Our pain is the same. Once embraced with understanding and compassion, it dissolves. And to hold our pain that way, we need a heart that endures, a heart that is soft, not hard, open, not closed. Because only a heart filled with compassion can withstand life's storms without breaking. Compassion isn't just for others, it begins with ourselves. In moments of exhaustion, instead of blaming yourself, say gently, "It's okay, I'm human too, and I'm still learning." Sometimes, those simple words can save your whole being. A heart that knows compassion also knows forgiveness, forgiving those who hurt us, and forgiving ourselves for the times we were weak or wrong. When we live with compassion, our heart becomes a quiet home in the storm. The world outside may rage with wind and rain, but inside, there is light and warmth. Compassion doesn't make us weak, it makes us stronger than ever, because compassion is the strength of the awakened ones. Some go through pain and grow bitter. Others walk through the same pain and grow kind and wise. The difference isn't in how much they suffered, but in how awake they became. When we see life through the eyes of anger, the world turns into hell. But when we see through the eyes of compassion, every suffering becomes a sacred teacher. Be still, look deeply, love more. These are the 3 steps of healing. Be still, to see the waves within. Look deeply, to understand their source. Love, to let them go. When we do that, life becomes gentle again. Everyone and everything comes to teach us something. Those who hurt us teach forgiveness. Those who leave teach letting go. Those who stay teach gratitude. And suffering itself teaches the way home. One day, as you sit by a still lake, you will realize the sky was never gone. The lake was simply too restless to reflect it. Likewise, peace was never far away. Your mind was just too full of wind. When the mind is still, truth appears. And what is that truth? That no pain is forever. No storm lasts eternally. Everything comes and goes. If you can stop, breathe, and look within, you will see the light within the dark and hear the peace beneath the world's noise. To be still, that is the bravest act of all, because only in stillness can we touch our true heart, the pure, unshaken, timeless space within us. When we reach that place, we know, no matter how wild the world becomes, within us still lies a lake of peace, untouched, unbroken, forever serene. Beyond the clouds, the flower of peace blooms. There are days when life feels covered in gray clouds. The clouds are so thick we start to believe the sky has disappeared. But in truth, the sky has never vanished. It's only been temporarily hidden. Just like in times of deep suffering, we may feel that peace no longer exists. We forget that even while we're crying, the seed of peace is still alive within us. Even when storms rage outside, deep inside, a clear sky still waits for us to return. Such is life. Sun and rain, rise and fall, joy and sorrow. No one can live without passing through cloudy days. But the awakened ones know this truth. Clouds are only guests, while the sky, that is our true mind. The clouds may be thick, dark, or stormy, but they come and go. The sky remains vast, still, and untouched. When we understand this, we stop chasing the clouds, stop blaming the storms, and begin to remember the sky within ourselves. Imagine this: our pain, fear, anger, and worries are just clouds in the mind. Every time we cling to an emotion, we lose sight of the blue sky. The more we resist our feelings, the heavier the clouds become. Only when we relax and look at the clouds with understanding do they begin to dissolve. Suffering fades when we stop identifying with it, when we no longer say, "I am this pain." Then we begin to touch the part of us that was never hurt, our awakened mind. The Buddha once said, "After the long night of ignorance comes the light of wisdom." Suffering has never been an ending. It's only a comma, opening a new chapter of the spirit. When we truly understand suffering, we no longer fear it. We see it as part of the path of growth. We realize, without storms, we'd never see the clear sky. Without the night, we'd never see the dawn. That understanding itself is the first seed of peace. When we understand, we stop blaming. When blame ends, compassion blooms. And where compassion blooms, the flower of peace begins to open. That flower doesn't grow in the garden of happiness, but in the soil of suffering. No mud, no lotus. No tears, no real smile. Each time we understand another layer of pain, we plant another seed of peace. Understanding is the first step toward love, and love is the path to peace. When the heart tastes the sweetness of understanding, it no longer chases ignorance. We see that happiness doesn't require chasing, only stopping, looking deeply, and fully living this very moment. In that moment, peace already exists. Someone once asked, "How can I have peace every day?" The Buddha said, "Water the flower of peace with mindfulness." Mindfulness is the cool water that nourishes the flower of calm within the heart. Every time you breathe in and know you are breathing in, breathe out and know you are breathing out. That is mindfulness. When you wash the dishes, walk, eat, talk, and know what you are doing and feeling, that is mindfulness. You don't have to search far. Peace begins the moment you are truly present for yourself. If each day you take a few moments to pause, breathe deeply, and smile, to feel the warmth of the sun, the song of a bird, the laughter of someone you love, your heart will begin to soften. Then, no matter how chaotic life becomes, you can still walk calmly, like one who walks through a storm yet feels no turbulence inside. The flower of peace is not far away. It blooms from the smallest things. When you forgive someone, when you let go of an old story, when you speak kindly, when you smile to yourself, that's when peace flowers. And when peace blooms, the pains around you dissolve like morning mist. There is something miraculous. When you are at peace, the world becomes gentle. Those who are angry with you soften. Those who resent you quiet down. Because the energy of peace spreads naturally. You don't need to preach or prove anything. Just live peacefully, and the hearts around you will calm in response. Peace does not come from outside. It grows from inner understanding. No one can give you peace if you don't cultivate it yourself. And no one can take it away if you hold it with mindfulness. Look up at the sky after rain. The sky is still blue. The clouds have simply passed. So is your mind. What once hurt you yesterday is now just a memory. If today you can smile, tomorrow you'll have the wisdom to love. Life may still be hard, still full of trials, but the mindful heart walks through all of it with strength. They don't run from the storm. They learn to fly with the wind. They don't wish for calm seas. They learn to row through the waves. Because they know the true sky within has never disappeared. And as you listen to these words, perhaps your heart feels heavy. Take a deep breath and release it slowly. Let each breath remind you, I am still here, and I deserve to be at peace. No one can heal you better than yourself. Every mindful moment is a moment of coming home, to the clear sky within. to the flower of peace waiting to bloom in your heart. You don't need to wait for pain to end to find peace. Begin right within the pain, because there, the first light of understanding arises. Remember this: don't chase the clouds, remember the sky. Don't search for peace, live mindfully, and peace will find you. And if these words touch your heart, if you feel even a small bloom of calm within you, leave a comment to share your reflection. Because sometimes, your simple words can be the light for someone still lost in darkness. Click subscribe to Buddha's loving words to plant more seeds of mindfulness and compassion together. Every subscription, every share, is a way of spreading peace to countless hearts in need of the Buddha's light. Let us continue this journey, the journey through suffering to the blossoming of peace. For when one person awakens, the whole world becomes brighter.
From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for supporting Buddha's loving words. May the teachings of the Buddha continue to touch every heart, bringing peace and happiness.